What is up, my dudes? Daniel John here, coming at you with my first place Shaddoll deck profile, guys. I'm very excited to show you guys this deck profile. But first, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and yeah, just comment down below what you guys think, what you guys' thoughts about this deck. Yeah. But yeah, this is the first place, guys, deck profile. And I just wanted to say I have been kind of appreciated with support that I have in my channel. You guys are killing it. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. So yeah, my first place Shaddoll deck profile, guys. I did face Dragon Links. I did face Ignoble Knights, and just bait the meta. I did face a stun deck too. That one was that one was pretty fun. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I got first place. And honestly, I would say for the most part, I have been winning a lot of dice rolls. And this deck really does need to go first. It can go second because, like the Shaddoll cards are really good going second. The Shaddoll fusion cards are really good going second. But going first, you can set up boards. And I'm literally about to show you how to set up like 2 negates with a window on your opponent's turn. So really, really good. And it's very easy to get all this stuff out. But yeah, without further ado, guys, let's just dive into this deck profile. So to start things off, we're going to run triple Skomata. I'm pretty sure it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I really need to explain it. This card is just really good. Really, really good. Just dump any Shaddoll card from your deck to grave, and that just literally kicks off their effects, or just helps you set up for plays, which is really, really good. Next off, triple Hedgehog. Hedgehog. Now I know I see like usually 3-2 ratio, but since I do run Allure of Darkness and I like to see multiple darks in my deck, so Hedgehog is good, and it's also good too because who doesn't want a searcher? Like your main thing is to basically search Skomata or search whatever puzzle pieces you need in your deck. So Hedgehog just helps you provide with that. So I like Hedgehog, and plus if anything, you can normal summon him for Almirage. You go to Almirage, normal summon him, Almirage, and then go to your light monster play, and then you can go for your Construct. You can fuse with Construct from there. So yeah, triple Hedgehog is really, really good. All right, then we run one Shaddoll Beast, one Shaddoll Dragon, and one Shaddoll Falco. So these 3 right here, these are usually the one-ofs right here. They're good. Falco, I think Falco is kind of unique. The ability just to, when it's sent to the graveyard, just basically reset it. It's really good because you can fuse with face down cards, which is actually pretty interesting. So you could fuse with face down cards, which is Falco kind of provides you with that extra play, just in case if you kind of run out of things to do. He's just there just to provide you with that, just that extra, how would I say it? Extra play. All right, just that little extra push or consistency. It's just a little push for it. And he's a dark too for Allure of Darkness, if anything. But yeah, Shaddoll Falco is really good. And I feel like I needed more monsters too in my deck, because I do run quite a bit of fusion cards. So I did wanted to see a fair amount of monsters and fusion cards at my hand. No matter, like, I just try to make this deck so consistent as possible. So added one Falco really helped. Dragon, I don't think I need to explain it. When he's flipped, pop a monster, sent to the graveyard, pop a spell or trap, or yeah, target one card and return it when he's flipped, and then pop a spell and trap card when he's sent to the graveyard. You're really, really good. Dragon's really good, and then Beast just helps you draw 1 card. So yeah. All right. Then next, 2 Windy and 1 Aerial. Honestly, I wish I could bump Aerial. I kind of did wanted to bump Aerial because I feel like sometimes I would miss her. Or sometimes I'll have a horrible luck and always draw into her, and I would want Wendy to, get Aerial. But honestly, Wendy is just really good in general because, you can just literally set any Shaddoll monster from your deck. You can set a Falco, which is kind of the same thing. Not really, but kind of. So yeah, Wendy's really good. Usually sometimes you'll set a Skomata, or you'll set a, you'll just set a Beast just for that extra draw. But Wendy's really good, so I really like this ratio. This ratio is pretty good, but if I would find space, I would probably add a second copy of it, only because I kind of hate drawing, basically the 1 in here. But other than that, it worked phenomenal. So yeah. All right, that's it for the Shaddoll cards. Okay, that's it for the Shaddoll cards. Now I'm gonna show you one spice. I'm just kidding. Performer Maze Trick Clown, just 1. I did run it at 2, but I don't really know how to explain it. It's just it wasn't really working for me when I was at 2. One is actually really good. So yeah, he's just basically an extender. So you really need extenders in the deck, and he's really really good. Especially, I'm pretty sure you guys already know all the plays you can do with Trick Clown and Shaddoll deck. So exactly, he's just yeah, he's nuts. All right, next off, triple Alistair Invoke. Wouldn't be a Shaddoll Invoke deck without Alistair. So Alistair, like pretty self-explanatory too. Just adds so much flavor to this deck. Is just really broken in my opinion. This card's really good. It's literally a 1-card negate. Actually, it's kind of like free because you can just return this off invocation and then just have Mechaba on the field. So it's like a free negate. And yeah, it's just all you gotta do is just waste your normal summon. But other than that, like a free negate on the field, which is nuts. It's really really insane. And you have like 4 more cards to play through to extend your play. So yeah, it's nuts and really insane. And I'll show you a combo later on what you can do. You can literally do this and build up a board and kind of stun your opponent throughout the way too. So yeah, Alistair, Invoker, really good. And obviously, since we're playing Alistair, you already know. Triple Magical Meltdown along with the Terraforming, because I do want to see Alistair a lot more, and obviously I do run the Allure of Darkness. Terraforming allows me to at least get the Magical Meltdown. Magical Meltdown allows me to get Alistair, and if I do the whole combo, return this back to my hand, and I have Allure. And yeah, you pretty much know why I have that for. But yeah, and plus it's really good too. Terraforming is really good, just to add that little, just to make sure I have Alistair in my hand. So yeah, this ratio is good. And obviously you already know, triple Invocation. I know some people don't play 3 invocations. They usually play 2. It's not bad to play 2. You could play 2. So it's up to you if you want. But I feel like I wanted to see more fusion cards in my hand. So Invocation did add that little extra space that I was missing, because when I ran it at 2, I kind of was like, I felt like I was missing that extra space of fusion, because there would be times where I would have a hand and I wouldn't draw that little extra push for another fusion summon. And just adding a 3rd copy kind of helped me. It really really did help me with that. So it provided me to push the game even more and progress. To basically have almost an unbreakable board and basically to secure my win. So this was really really good, and I kind of recommend you to at least try it at 3, or if you want, just keep it at 2. It's up to you. But in my personal opinion, 3 was best for me. 3 Shaddoll Fusion, really really good card, guys. I'm pretty sure it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really need to explain it. Really good card. It's a quick spell, and yeah, really good card. I don't really need to explain it at all. Shaddoll Fusion. This card helps you go second, which is why this is really really good. This is like a bait out card. If you activate it, your opponent has to negate it. If not, this is gonna it just provides you so many pluses. And yeah, this card's just nuts. And it's also pretty self-explanatory. Like, Shaddoll's been there for a while, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this deck does. And this card, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that this card's really really good. So all 6 of them are good. All right, so then that's it for the Shaddoll fusions. Next off, triple Super Polymerization. Really good to clear boards. Really good card to clear boards, especially going second too. Even going first, you can just set it, and it's really really good. So yeah, like I said, I don't really need to explain this one that much either. This card's really good. Helps you just clear out boards and helps you make your own plays too, which is why at 3 this card just provides you so much synergy within the deck, and just helps you push for game. Really good card. All right, next, triple Pot of Desires. Now I don't like banishing 10 cards in my deck, which is why I do run triple Invocation, just to make sure I do get the search off of Alistair, off the Invocation, because I do have a tendency to banish like 2 copies of the same card. So that's why I added another Invocation. But anyways, Pot of Desires, really really good card. Just helps you with draw 2, and it's a really good bait card as well. Usually I like to activate this first, only because they have to negate this if they have a hand trap. If they do ash, okay, ash it. You ash this, although I do banish my 10 cards, but I have an Alistair. So this with Alistair is really good, because you use this and it just baits out an ash. And then you normal summon your Alistair, get a 1-card Mechaba, and you have the rest of your hand to continue your plays, which is why this provides kind of a bait scenario. So it's a really good card. And if they don't bait it, I mean, okay, free 2 plus +2, and trust me, it's really good. Anything that's like +1, my bad, it's +1. Anything that's +1 is just nuts. So yeah, this card's really, really good in the deck. All right, next off, 2 Allure Darkness. Like I said, I do run Allure. I wanted to make sure that I had enough consistency. I wanted to make sure that I just kind of saw more combo. I wanted to see more cards and more different strategies that I could utilize to my disposal to basically build up a board, to build up a really unique board. And this kind of helped me like kind of just speed through my deck. With the Desires and Allure, it just kind of helped me to see the cards that I really wanted to see. So this was a really good extra push, and obviously it's why I run triple copies of some of the Shaddoll cards, or this is why I opened the number of Dark Monsters too, because Allure Darkness is a really good card. So yeah, double Allure Darkness. Last off for the spells, 1 Foolish Burial. It's pretty self-explanatory. Literally, this is any Shaddoll card, which is really, really good. So yeah, one Foolish Burial. Next off, I do run 1 Schism. I do not know why a lot of people are not running this. Your opponent has no choice to pop this card or get rid of it somehow, and that's why it's really good, because this card just provides you with it's a continuous trap that just fuse from your graveyard. That just, banishes all your fusion materials from your graveyard to special summon basically fuse, yeah, basically fusion summon on your extra deck by banishing your materials from grave. So it's continuous, so you can keep doing it. You can do it on your turn, pass. You do it on your opponent's turn. If he passes, you can keep going back and forth, and you can just summon so many fusion monsters just with this card if your opponent doesn't get rid of it. So it's a really good card. Although you can attack directly, so just keep that in mind. Provides you with so much synergy throughout the deck, and yeah, this card is really good. This is like literally a 1 card. This can set up plays, and if you end with this, it's literally a 1 card window. So Schism is really, really good. Last off, Shaddoll Incarnation. Good card, guys. I'm pretty sure that's pretty self-explanatory too, especially with Ariel in the deck. Use this, flip Ariel's effect, special summon your Construct. You usually get Construct, or usually get any other Shaddoll monsters. I've been using this to get mostly my regular Shaddoll monsters, but if I do have that certain combo, I would get Construct out if I do end up sending Construct to my graveyard for that combo. But it's usually, this card's just nuts. Really, really good. It kind of sucks drawing it, I won't lie, but that's why you run 1 copy. Hopefully you don't draw it, but yeah, this card's really good. All right, that's it for the main deck. The main deck's at 40. Let's go on to our extra deck. So the extra deck, some of the cards are pretty self-explanatory. Almirage, self-explanatory. Secure Garna, self-explanatory. 1 card to Mechaba. 1 Gravity Controller. This card, I like this card, especially if you have like a particular hand where you can't really do that much. All you can do is just get the Construct out, and usually if that's literally all I can do, I would just have the Construct out. Construct will send the Schism, Gravity Controller, the Construct, and then add the Schism and kind of set. If my hand is that horrible, because this at least provides me with the window. So during your opponent's turn, so at least that kind of like stuns them a little bit. That's if I have a dead hand, which is still good. I really like it. Even if you have a dead hand, you can still have a really good board that your opponent really has to kind of break. So Gravity Controller is pretty good. All right, next off, Anaconda. Let me just push these off the side. Yeah, Anaconda obviously wouldn't be a really good fusion deck without Anaconda. You can play without him, but I highly recommend you to try it. It's really, really good. It just kind of like provides that extra. It provides the extra fusion monster, and this literally provides me for an extra negate, which I'm about to show you guys in a bit. It's really, really good. So Anaconda is really good. And no, I'm not running Dragoon. Obviously, you can tell, but this card is just really good in general, especially because we're running a fusion deck. So yeah, Anaconda is really good. And no, you do not have to discard if you use this and you send Super Poly. That's what I so far got knowledge of. So yeah, 1 Verte Anaconda. 1 Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is really good at extending your plays. So yeah, really good. Most of the times you would get flip Ariel, and then Ariel bring back Construct on the zone, and then this will trigger that effect, and Construct will trigger too, and you'll get another monster from grave with Cross Sheep just because he's pushed some in the Construct. So really good card. Just extend play. So yeah. All right, that's it for the links. Fusions, we got double window. I do want to increase this to 3. It's just this extra deck is so tight. I love this card so much, guys. This card is insane. And just the fact that your opponent just literally wants to get rid of it so hard. Like, they really want to get rid of this card. That's why I wanted to run 3. But this extra deck is so tight. So I'm still kind of like trying to figure out how I can just kind of maximize on this, because you do want to keep kind of annoying them and summoning a lot of these. But honestly, in my personal opinion, I think 2 did work out for me in general throughout the tournament. It was just a really good card. So yeah, Wenda, it's a must in Shaddoll. It's an absolute must, and it's cheap, so why not? All right, 1 Apgalone. Really good card, guys. You know, sent to the graveyard. You can add any Shaddoll card from your deck to your hand. Really good card. So you can kind of, I mean, if you want, some players do fusion this, send that, and then, you know, link it for a gravity controller, and then you can kick off this effect. So really good card. But yeah, and when it's summoned, you can also shut down any card effects. So really good card. Really, really good card. All right, so 1 Invoked Purgatrio. 1 Invoked Purgatrio is really good, especially helps you kind of like push for game. Just a really good card. It's kind of like a Ultimate Conductor Triano. Just kind of attacks over everything, and it gains attack too, so it's really good. It kind of like punishes your opponent for having multiple cards, so Invoke Purgatrio is pretty good in that personal opinion. So yeah. All right, now 1 Predaplant, Dragostapelia. I'm still practicing the name, sorry. But this card is really good, and honestly, even if you have Super Polymerization set and you have like a Construct's a fusion monster. All you really need is a dark monster. Or even if your opponent has a fusion monster and you have a dark monster, it just works. And you can just bring this out during their turn and you have an extra negate. This provides for an extra negate, essentially. So usually you bring this out during your turn just to provide for the extra negate. So usually the end board is usually this. It's usually a Makaba. It's a Makaba. And it's usually this. And then your opponent's turn, you'll summon a Winda. So this is literally my end board right here. I mean, I don't get it often. Usually what I get often is these 2 cards. I usually get these 2 cards often, but it's actually not bad. My hands, with the hands that you got, all you got to just practice is ratios, like different sequences on what to do is different, but it can bring out the same board. So you got to practice that. And it's a bit difficult, but if you learn, you can literally bring these 3 cards out. And in your 1 turn. Well, for your first turn, you bring this card out, you set something, and then you bring this out during your opponent's turn. So you can have these 3 cards. Monster negate, depending what you have in your hands, can negate anything. And then you have, you know, something that kind of restricts your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I mean, this is just literally bunkers. So, yeah, really, really good card. So, definitely 1 Dragos. I don't want to pronounce it. 1 Invoke Mechaba, because you already saw it. Mechaba is a must to. Only 1 of. I do want to bump this up to 2, but 1 kind of worked perfectly. I think all I needed was 1. Everything else I just needed to push for game. Because if they get rid of this, they get rid of it. Fair play. Usually I like to make this first turn, so I think it's okay at 1. Not that bad, but I would like to see 2, but as you can tell, this extra deck is kind of tight, so yeah. 1 Starving Venom, Fusion Dragon. This card is really good, especially if you set Super Polymerization. It's a really good card. So literally, you set Super Polymerization, you activate it. If they running like a dark, like if they summon any dark monsters, you can literally Super Poly both of their dark monsters to bring this out, because all it needs is just 2 dark monsters, which is literally good. You just interrupted their play and they can't respond to anything, because Super Poly says you can't respond to any card effects, and this comes out for free by literally fusing your opponent's monsters. So that's just really insane. And by the way, like, who doesn't run a lot of darks? Like, every deck has a dark monster. It's either the extra deck. It's no matter what, they're gonna bring some sort of dark monster out. If anything, they might bring 2 dark monsters out. So this card's really good. It's a really good card to have. And it's a really good beefy. It can just gain attack and kind of go, kind of for attack for game, if that makes sense. All right, another card I wish I had at 3. Construct. This card, it's a non-given thing that you need a construct. I would like to see 3, but 2 worked perfect. Sometimes I would only need 1, but I I love this card so much, guys. This card's really, really good. It's the reason why I actually decided to play this deck, because of Construct. I just like what it does in that it's not once per turn. This card is not hardcore once per turn. It's not even a soft once per turn. You can just, if you keep recycling it, you keep abusing its effect, which is really, really good. And if you have 3, you can just keep summoning in, just keep abusing the same effect. So it's a really, really good card. I don't think I really need to explain that much in detail what it does. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what it does. If not, you can just kind of pause the video and kind of read the card effect. This card literally does everything for the deck, so yeah. All right. Last but not least, we run 1 Invoked Elysium. This card is pretty good. It's really, really good, especially to just kind of like banish literally all their monsters, depending on what they play. Infernoble, I kind of like banished all his monsters by, banishing my Almirage. I banished the poor dinosaurs too. This card, I just banished Dark. You can banish a Dark. Kind of just banish all their monsters. I mean, you have Light, Dark, Fire, or Light, Dark, and Fire. So you have Light, Dark, and Fire. So literally, that's kind of like almost the meta. That's literally basically the whole meta, because literally their whole deck, no matter what, like I said, they're gonna have Darks no matter what. If not, they'll have Lights. And if you're facing, not Ignoble, if you're facing like the Flame Noble Knights, they have Fire. So this card's really, really good. So, and it's 32 beat stick. So what's not to like about it? This card is just really, really good. Really good card, guys. And I like it. So definitely need to try that one out, guys. It's a really good card. Highly underrated sometimes. All right, now that's it for the main deck, guys. Now let's go off to the side deck. The side deck, I have to apologize for the side deck only because I re-sleeved them because they were originally for my dinosaur deck. And if you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that out. But I had to re-sleeve them. Some of them are like unsleeved, some of them are sleeved, only because I used some of them for my dinosaur deck. But this one's a lot different. So yeah, let's just go over it. So triple Nibiru, really good card. It's a light 2, just in case if you need to fuse it for Construct. And Nibiru, just you pretty much know what it is. These are usually cited for the Flame Noble Knights and Dragon Links and any other deck that just spams out monsters. Nibiru is a really, really good card. So definitely like that card. All right, next off, triple Sideframe Gamma. This is what I'm talking about. They're not sleeved. Don't worry, I'm taking really good care of them. I'm not slamming them hard. 1 Driver. Obviously, this card's really good. I was debating about putting DD Crow in here, but honestly, I couldn't fit it. I would have loved to have DD Crow in here, only because of Outlich. But no one's really playing Outlich that much, and I kind of figured. But Sideframe is just a really good card. Because if I did have DD Crow, I could basically stop. If I face Dragon Link, or if I face Flame Noble Knights, or any combo deck that kind of really abuse the extra deck. If I use DD Crow, I could potentially kind of stop them, but they would still be left with a monster. And in this case, if they activate Christian Hyperfibrax, he would get negated, and he would not only get negated, he'll be popped because of Gamma. This is why Gamma is just really, really good in this format. So it's really, really good. And also Artifact Lancia is good, but sadly I don't run that here. All right, the really good card that I suggest people running to basically counteract their Dragon Link deck, which really, really helped, is triple Droll and Lockbird. Literally, you just use this on Dragon Link, and they're just like, dang, they just pass their turn because there's literally nothing they can do. This thing just does a lot. I mean, it just does everything. This card does everything in the side deck. So if you want to kind of stun your opponent, this is the card to do it. This card just shuts down everything. So Droll and Lockbird. Just the fact that your opponent cannot add cards from his deck to hand except by drawing them, literally shuts down basically half or more of the meta than like Flame Noble Knights adds, Dragon Link adds, and this deck adds a little bit, and Dinosaur adds. Surprisingly, Dinosaurs do add. So this kind of just stuns them a little bit too. Not as bad as Dragon Links and Flame Noble Knights, but this card's really good, guys, and you should be playing it. Double Cosmic Cyclones, for that annoying back row deck. And I did face a stun deck. I did see this. Surprisingly, I did draw into this. Really good card. Love this card. And just by banishing their cards, just a really good card. You can sacrifice 1,000. Doesn't matter. Last but not least, triple Evenly Matched. Really good card, guys. So I really had this kind of for, like I said, stun decks or Outledge or any just back row deck. This card does It's really really good, and just kind of clears out a board, and then that way you can just kind of play and potentially LTK your opponent. So or not OTK because you gotta basically skip your battle phase for this, but it can kind of just get you that board where it's kind of unbreakable. You know, you can end it with the a window. You could end with just like basically, you know, you can just basically build an unbreakable board because you're breaking your opponent's board with this. They have to come. They had to really kind of grind and come back hard with their next turn. Otherwise, you're just gonna win. So this card is really really good, and I highly recommend it. If not, you could put DD Crow if you can't afford this card, but yeah, this card just helped me a lot. All right, and yeah, that's actually it for the deck, guys, the deck profile. So yeah, oh yeah, I need to show you the combo. See, I was about to end the video right now, but no, I need to show you the combo. So this combo, now it's kind of difficult because it does require you to have like maybe like 4 or 5 cards in hand, but honestly, you're gonna, no matter what, you'll draw it. You just need to kind of like really study the deck, kind of like the Megalith deck. You need to study it, and literally you're gonna build up different sequences, but you can potentially get the same board. You just got to study what you need to send or what you need to use in order to get the same results, the same board. So I'll show you one right now. So, you know, any Shaddoll, maybe two fusion. So basically for this essential combo, I would like to show you guys this one only because this does come a lot, surprisingly, especially with all the draw power you have in the deck. This does end up coming a lot. So you would have like 2 fusion cards, right? Doesn't matter. 2 fusion cards, usually it's like a Shaddoll fusion or El Shaddoll fusion, or you might even have Super Poly. Just depends on the board you have. You can literally pull off the same thing. You just literally have to just kind of study the deck. All right, so this combo, you just need the Invoke, Alistair, a Beast, or not a Beast, any Shaddoll. So this is literally any Shaddoll, my bad. And then a Skomata. And remember, if you can't add a Skomata, just find a way to dump a Hedgehog. So if you have Foolish Burial and add a Skomata, that kind of solves your problem right there. That's if you draw Foolish Burial. But yeah, literally, you have so much cards that help you draw and search out your deck, and you're literally going to draw at least 2 fusions and an Invoke. So like this literally provides you with everything right here. So I'm going to show you guys a combo right here. Let me just zoom out. Hopefully I don't take too long. So right here, all you're going to do is you're going to normal summon Alistair. All right. So you normal summon Alistair. Alistair effect, you guys already know. Add an invocation. Literally a 1 card negate, which is just stupid. All right, so you link this off for Almirage. You know, the basic play, Almirage going to secure Gardna. All right, now you stop right here. Just stop right here for a bit. You're going to use your Shaddoll Fusion, fusing your Gardna and your Skomata. So fusion summon these 2. Or use those 2 to fusion summon your Construct. All right, so you can do Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, or Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. That's what I usually like to do, 1 and 2. So the second one will trigger off first, which is Skomata, sending your Incarnation, or not your Incarnation. You want to basically make sure you have monsters on the field. So my bad. You will send Windy. Windy effect will well then you set the I don't want to confuse you guys. So basically with these 2 effects, you're sending these 2 cards, no matter what. So Wendy, and you're sending Rhea Shaddoll Incarnation. All right. So since Wendy is sent to the graveyard, it allows you to set any Shaddoll monsters from your deck, which we're going to set Ariel, and then Construct, you know, sets the Incarnation. So there you go. All right, so right here, are you going to do, from right here, I would highly recommend you to have a negate on the field. That way he can't like Nibiru you or do anything like that, because you did want, I mean, this is the 5th summon, but if he doesn't have Nibiru, you just kind of want to make sure that you have that extra negate just in case. So you kind of use Invocation to banish these 2 and special summon your Mechaba. All right, now you activate Invocation, shuffling this, add Alistair. All right, and then doesn't matter. All right, so from here, you're actually going to banish these 2. Or you usually banish the Skomata. Doesn't matter. Banish any Shaddoll. Doesn't really matter, guys. Which you'll see in a bit. Doesn't really matter. Flip your Ariel. Ariel effect to special summon Skomata. Okay. Then you're going to link these 2 for, oops, hold on, my camera almost fell. All right, so link those two for your cross sheep, or not your cross sheep, my bad. Your Verde Anaconda. All right, so this is gonna get you the windy board with the this is gonna get you a windy board with basically the Predaplant. So you have Anaconda. Just want to make sure you guys see you have Anaconda, you have Construct, and you have Mechaba. All right, so now what you do here is that you're going to activate your Verte Anaconda's effect to send your Super Polymerization. Send that to the graveyard to fusion summon these two. Okay, and then you're going to special summon your Predaplant. So you have these two cards, and then don't forget to activate your Construct since it's sent to the graveyard. You add a Shaddoll card, which is the Shaddoll Fusion. All right, and so you have two negates. You start with two negates. You pass turn. Your opponent draws whatever, does anything. You activate El Shaddoll Fusion summoning with these two, and then you get your Windy. Or if you want to too. So if you do end up negating monster effect with Mechaba by ditching Invoker, Alistair Invoker, you don't need this card anymore. You can just fusion summon these two to make your Construct too as well. Or if you use this first, you can fusion summon these two and you'll make a Windy. So in my personal opinion, I would like to activate his effect first to negate a monster. That way, if I do end up using Mechaba to discard like an Alistair or discard a Beast just to get the extra draw, I mean, you're going to get the extra draw either way. Then you could technically, so if you activate this and then you activate this to discard, you can still use it to get an extra draw. But since you can't really fuse for a Windy, so you really have to kind of ditch the Invoker. So yeah, I don't know why I did that. So, but yeah, basically the main idea, you have to ditch your Alistair for this. But if they don't do anything and you feel comfortable kind of stunning them, so you can bring Wendy out by ditching these two, and then you just draw a card from there. So yeah, literally you got Wendy, you got two negates on the field. Well, he can negate a spell, he can negate a monster, and this could basically negate, or not negate, this stuns your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, that's basically it right there, guys. And if anything, sometimes you'll end up with boards with this instead of usually the El Shaddoll Fusion. Sometimes you'll have this in hand, and that's perfect because literally this is a continuous trap card that literally just, it's a free window. So, and you would have multiple cards in your hand to like sacrifice off of Mechaba. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I would have that hand too. So it's really nuts. It's really ridiculous. So yeah, so this is usually the field, guys. This deck is really good. I recommend you to try it and kind of study the deck. If you guys do want to see me, play through it, or kind of want to see me use test hands, just let me know in the comment section below, and then I will definitely probably post a video with test hands, kind of show you guys a different different boards to use, to bring out the same thing every turn. Depending on what deck you do play against, you are gonna play differently. That's basically how I won. I played a lot differently than usual. I kind of played safe, or if I went second, I did things that I did other I basically did other moves to kind of like